Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, this week is make or break. It's what separates the men from the boys. Okay, this is if you're going for the ranks, the top. If you're going to win it, this is your week. This is where you win Supercoach. It's this week. It's in two phases. There's phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, we've already completed that. That's to generate the cash. We failed. Just cover down. Okay, phase 1 was a disaster. Now, this is phase 2 now. And the chances are, if you fail phase 1, phase 2 becomes very difficult because if you don't have the cash, how are you going to upgrade? How are you going to get best of the best? I don't think anyone this year will have best of the best. So you've now got to use some imagination, okay? You got to be bold. You got to take some risks because if you want to win it, you got to risk it for the biscuits. That's how it works. Just cover down. Now, this week, we managed to score the 18-15. We're still ranked 25k. It doesn't matter what our ranking is because if it's not top 10, it's no good. We tried something different this year. We didn't stick to our formula. We tried to be a bit over-aggressive at the start of the year, and we're paying the price for it now. The biggest problem we got is our team value at 12.45 mil. Well, it's 12.45 plus some cash in the bank. Okay, so probably about 12.7. Let's have a look. How much cash do we have? 12.45 plus an extra 135k. So 12.6 mil. That's a no good. Okay, because at the same time, last year, if we go to our history, we're around 12 now, end of round 12. If we go to our history, and let's have a look at round 12, history 2024, even just last year, okay, 2024, round 12, team value was 13.7 mil, okay, even that's low, and that's 13.8 mil, just say. So we're 1.2 mil behind there. If we go to 2022, okay, this was a good year. Okay, now in 2022, round 12, we had 14 mil in 2020 and rising. Okay, team value was huge. This year we got nothing. Okay, so when you got nothing, and this isn't just me. Okay, this is a lot of teams. There's not many teams valued at 14 mil this year. Okay, so you can't have the best of the best. In 2022, I had the best player in every position. But to do all this, I run out of trades because to get best of the best, it's not easy. And I was killing it, okay? So obviously you can see I'm just flying up the ranks from the buy. I had a lot of problems in the buy rounds because my players got injured. But as soon as the buy rounds finished, the run home is where you win it, okay? Not the buy. The buy rounds are where you set it up. This is where we set up our win, okay? You can fail in the buy rounds. It doesn't matter. It's how you come out of the buy rounds is going to make or break your team. And as you can see here, from 34, 32 down to 13, 5, 2, 1, bang, straight up. And even the weekly rankings, okay? Where is it? Round positions, weekly rankings. After the buy rounds, 3 weeks back to back, I got a top 218, top 125, top 287 because I had a best of the best. Okay, now you're not gonna all get that. Okay, no one's gonna have best of the best this year. So getting these kind of rankings is gonna be very hard. But what you can do is make sure you have a team that has enough power in there. You need some bullets. Okay, you got the gun. You just need the bullets now. So we're gonna help you today find these bullets to get you to the top. And sometimes you need to make some sacrifices, okay? Because back in 2022, I traded out Lockie Neal, okay? I traded him out for Rory Laird, who was on fire. And Rory Laird outscored Lockie Neal by about 200 points, maybe even more, about 300 points, including a buy round. Because Lockie Neal had the last buy that year, and and Rory Laird was playing that, and I was 17 players, so I had to sort of make that change. And by bringing Rory Laird, he was also captain. He went nuts. So you just got to find the player that's going to take you home. And even you can see here, even when I had donuts, okay, in round 20, I had a donuts. I scored the 4,000 highest score for the year for donuts. That's how strong the team was. But unfortunately, couldn't hold on. Even, you can see that the 5,700th ranked team in round 22 for donuts. Okay, work that one out. Just come it down. Now, last week, we got mailed that Cleary is the sub. Okay, now I did some calculations. Okay, now if he scores a 30, we take a 9K loss. I don't mind that. Okay, if he scores but as a sub, it's hard to score a 30, right? So if he scores a 20, it's a 13K loss. Now, this hurts. So if he scores a 10, I was going to take a 17K loss. If he scores a 1, we're virtually going to lose a lot more. So 17K loss wasn't on my cards. So I had a brainstorm, okay? Because Cleary I was going to keep, and Bice I traded out, okay? But because he was a sub, I had to make a change. So there's a late change at Abs Magic. Cleary out, his break-even's 50, and Bice back in, break-even of 84. Because the chances are, if Bice scores a 60, he'll lose less than what Cleary would score if Cleary scores a 20. Okay, so that was the thinking. Okay, so I brought back Bice. Plus, it would have given me extra points. So I brought him back into the team and traded out Cleary. And guess what happened? Bice at half-time was on 9 points. Now, how can this happen? Okay, the ball is living in their defense. All right. He's got scores. I mean, it's very rare that he goes under 60, okay? He's got 55, 68, 71. How can he score 9 points at half-time, okay? And then they subbed him out. I couldn't come down. I was so upset. How did they sub him out? So, mind you, I would have subbed him out as well if I was a coach. He only had one handball, and that was the only effective disposal he had. Also, maybe one kick and one tackle. That was it. So he wasn't no good. So they subbed him out. So we lost on Bice big time. We ended up losing 33K on Bice. So we would have lost, I think it was about 18K on the other boy, Cleary. But we ended up losing an extra 13K on top and lost 33K. That's massive, considering how much I need that 33K right now. And it just ruined my whole weekend. Even though we scored the 18-14, which is sort of, it's not like it's magnificent, okay? But it is. A lot of people failed in round last week because we had less players on that bye round. So it wasn't a disaster for us, but losing that 33K, that really hurt us. And we're going to try to work out now what trades to make. Okay, now we've got Goldilocks scoring the 69. He failed us. Wits we brought in. They had the 2 ruckmen, but it didn't worry me because Wits I was going to keep over the longer term. So, and it was raining, so Wits sort of struggled in the rain. Well, mind you, he was on roughly around about 70 points at half-time, was 60 at half-time. Didn't score after half-time, okay? Couldn't work it out what happened to him. We brought in, who else did we bring in? Who was a new recruit? So we got Wits in. We got Anderson the previous week, all right? I'm trying to... we got Holmes in, and Holmes sort of stopped as well. He was on like 70 or 80 at half-time, then he stopped as well. So anyway, brought in Holmes, Wits, and a rookie, and that's Gray. And probably our rookie scored just as much as our primo last week, but we're not sure if he's going to play this week. By the time you watch this video, we're going to find out anyway. But let's move on to some options and how to fix this team up. Not just my team, but your team as well. How to set up a plan so that you can come out firing what is required. We've got a lot of questions that need answers now. So I'm going to ask the questions, and I'm going to answer the questions. Now, the first question is going to be, if I was going to ask a question, and this is the most important question, do we have to have 23 primos in our team? Now, the word primo is used very lightly this year because all of us are tight asses right now. We don't have money. What is a primo? Okay, we're not going to have best of the best. Okay, I can tell you that bad news right now. No team will have all the best players. Okay, it's impossible. So at the start of the year, everyone says, "Oh, he's not a top 8. You shouldn't get him." Okay, or he's not a top 6. He's not good. Okay, well, that's out the window now. Okay, because you can't get the top 6. You can't get the top 8. You can't. Maybe you can get the top 2. A lot of them have the top 2, but you can't. Maybe you can have the top 6 here as well, but you can't have the best of the best. But here's the problem. Okay, you need to have 23 players that are playing every week. Okay, it's must have. Okay, and the reason is the flex. All right, the flex position is a game changer now, especially for the run home. Okay, this is what separates the teams. With the flex, all right, what happens is this. Okay, let's say our team is full primo. Okay, well, sort of spuds and some primos. Okay, a handful of primos, lots of spuds. Okay, but our team is full of primos. Okay, maybe your team is better. Okay, well, the chances are very high that they are. Okay, now if we've got a full team of primos, all right. And let's say our player here, who failed, okay, Dunkley, okay, scored a 72. Well, that's bad, okay, is not good. But if you're flex, okay, let's change this around, okay, well, the other one didn't score either. But if your flex scored a 100, or if you've got another player here, if 72 is your lowest score, it gets taken out, all right? It's like best 22 now. So by having a strong player, doesn't have to score hundreds, all right? Doesn't have. I mean, when we say flex, all right, people think that the flex is the player that's taking over the worst score. It could be the F6 is your flex, okay, or the D6 is your flex, because flex for me, the definition of flex is your worst player, all right, not your best player. So for me, I don't mind having a stronger player at flex and having a weaker player at F6 or a weaker player at D6. It doesn't worry me, all right? So if you've got a player like a, let's just say, let's go to Sydney, all right? Sydney. I mean, you don't get him this week, all right, because he's got the bye next week. There's no point, okay? And it's not on the bubble yet. So, but if you've got a player like Mills in your team, that is your weakest link, all right? But he's capable of scoring a 90 or 100 any given day. Then he is the perfect player as the flex, okay? Even though I've got my flex as a ruckman at the moment, my real flex is this one here. It's Mills, all right? That's my 23rd. Like I said, it doesn't matter where they are, okay? As long as he's there. Because Mills is going to cover for an off day of a Dunkley or a Rowell or a Holmes. Everyone's going to have an off day. You need that cover, all right? In the old days, which is last year, okay, that's the old days now, our flex was on the bench, okay? We had, let's say, a Caleb Daniel on the bench. We would loop a Caleb Daniel with a Rowell and see who gets the better score, okay? Then we'd move them around. So we only had the one option, all right? Now, because we've got the flex, we have an extra option. We don't have to have him on the bench anymore. So your flex position is actually your bench player from last year, all right? Everyone had 22 primos. You can still have 22 primos. You don't have to have the best, all right? You don't. I mean, let's trade out Mills now. You don't have to have who's the next best mid defender? Okay, let's have a look. The defense average. Let's go up to average. You don't have to have, just say, a Nick Martin, all right? You don't have to have the best 6, all right? As long as your flex can be over here, right? It doesn't have to be Nick Martin. It can be a weaker forward. You can have Sam Darcy when he's 400k as your flex player, all right? So don't be too worried about your 23rd, but make sure your 23rd has the ability to score 100 is what I'm saying, all right? So flex is a must-have and a player that can go anywhere between 60 and 120, all right? That's the player you want at that flex spot, all right? When I say flex spot again, it doesn't mean the flex spot itself. Because for me, I'm using flex as a D6 or F6. That's my flex because I like to have a free ruckman in my rucks this year on the run home. Although it says here Goldie, he's not going to stay there for long. And now let's move on to the next question. Now the next question is, how do we get 23 primos? Okay, now that's a good question. Okay, because before you get to 23 primos, you need to do one thing, and you need to plan for it. All right, plan for it. Okay, now how do we plan for this? Okay, we've been planning all year, so how come we don't have the 23 primos? A lot of teams are going to struggle to get 23 primos, including myself. I'm not even going to have 23 primos. So how do we plan for this now? We've got limited funds. Okay, now you've got a couple of options. You make up a little list. Okay, you say, okay, Butters is going to be 550k next week, so you get them targets. Okay, you sort of plan. You look at Horny Man, 450k. Probably was going to play next week. Then you got to wait 2 weeks after that. So by the time round 16 for the Horny Man. Okay, so Horny Man round 16 is a target. All right, Butters is a target. Maybe next week. Okay, I mean, or in 2 weeks' time because we know that Butters has a tag coming next week. Okay, well this week he's got he's playing GWS, so maybe he's going to let's have a look. Let's go to Butters now. Now the last time Butters played GWS, he scored a 76 with the tag. Okay, so you can see that the tag is not good for Butters. Okay, now if we go with that, all right. So if we go by that, and mind you, his break even is 197. So he's 585k. His price going to get smashed. Okay, now because his last score, even though it's 100, he had a 53 in there. All right. So if Butters this week, okay, I have to get this working. Now if Butters, let's put Butters for an average of 110 for every game except for this week. Say he goes 90. Right, he drops down to 541k if he scores a 90. The following week, his break even's 127. You can wait 1 week and pick him up the following week at 530k. Sorry, if he scores a 90 this week, all right, he's 541k, but his break even. How does this work out? Okay, how does the break even 170? Then he scores a 110, and he loses 10k. I think something wrong here. Okay, but anyway, that can't be right. Yeah, that's wrong. So anyway, he's going to lose the break. I think the break evens are wrong here. So if he scores a 90, it goes to 540k. The following week, if he scores a 110, it goes to 530k. But if he scores a 120, what happens? And he loses 5k. You can actually risk it for the following week. You can actually get him after this week. 541k will be close to his bottom. It won't be rock bottom, but it'll be close to his bottom. I would pick him up. But if Butters goes, say, at 76 this week, then you're going to wait another week. Because even if it goes at 120, he's still going to drop down to 525k. So with Butters, all right, we wait next week or 2 weeks' time. The Horny Man. Let's check him out. Now, his break-even is 158, all right? The problem with the Horny Man is his last score is 22, so that's going to stay in a 2-week scoring cycle. Now, it says here it's round 13, but let's just say this is round 14 because he's not playing this week, all right? So this all go up by 1 week now. It's 14, 15, 16, 17 now, all right? So let's say a Butters scores 100s every week, all right? We have to wait 2 weeks on him. All right, he's going to lose 50k in those 2 weeks. So if round 14 he plays, we're gonna pick him up round 15. Round 16 is when we pick him up. Okay, so start of round 16 when we pick up Butters. All right, so sorry, the Horny Man. So the Horny Man is round 16 at 450k. Mills. Now with Mills at 365k, some may avoid him, thinking maybe his role's no good, but we know that Mills used to be a 700k player. He may not become a 700k player now, but he still can. So with Mills, Here's your 23rd primo, all right? Some can have him at 24th, okay? Here's my flex. Mills is my flex player, but you can also have him as your 24th player. Actually, Mills is actually my 22nd player, not even my flex, because at Abs Magic we were very poor this year, so we can't afford the good things that you guys can. So, Mills, we're going to pick him up in round 15, all right? Because he's got the bye in round 14. Plays this week, has a bye, so I might as well pick him up after his bye, just in case he gets injured. Something happens to him. Trades are a luxury right now. So, Butters, round 14, 15, around there, okay? Horny Man, round 16. Mills, round 15. And what about Darcy? Let's have a look at Darcy. Now, with Sam Darcy, okay, you can see here, he has the ability to score 117, 125, 140, 187. Then he's got a 16, got injured, okay? He can go big, okay? Now, and plus, his draw is sensational. He's got St Kilda, Richmond, Sydney, North Melbourne. He's got all the easy ones. He's got Essendon, Melbourne again, West Coast. He's got he's gonna go bananas. Okay, now with Sam Darcy, he's priced at actually why did I do that? Okay, get back here. With Sam Darcy, he's priced at $497K now. Let's say he's not gonna play this week. All right, so he's gonna play is the same thing as the Horny Man. Okay, so he's going to be our target. If he goes at 100, we're going to try to get him. He's going to play St Kilda, then Richmond. We're going to get him for a Sydney game. He's going to be about $450K. I thought he'd be cheaper. Okay, he's going to be about $450K. But if he goes, say, at 90s, that'll be $420K. So with Sam Darcy, all right, maybe you can't afford him. Okay, so he's going to be around 16 player as well. So how are you going to bring all these players around 16? You got the Horny Man, Darcy, 2 players around 16, Butters next week, and Mills. You can't bring them all, right? But Darcy, probably around about $430K, I think. All right, $430K for a Darcy. Now, I'm showing you this. This doesn't mean this is what you have to get, okay? These are the players that I'm chasing, okay? I probably can't get them all. But what you got to find now is how much cash you got left to bring in after you make some trades. And then the next phase is going to become, the next question is, how do we get creative? Okay, I'm gonna tell you now. So the question is, do we have to become creative? Okay, what does the word creative mean? Now, there are rules in Supercoach, the Abs Magic way, in the Abs Magic book. Okay, now, the first golden rule is sideways primos. Okay, now I'm only allowing teams to sideways primos between rounds 1 and 5. Okay, that's it. You can sideways your primos round 1 and 5 in case you've made a mistake. Okay, so you may have picked a primo that has a role change. Hasn't got the right role. You might have missed a primo. Okay, and when I say primo, maybe a mid-pricer. You may have missed one that's scoring 100 like Lockie Ash. Okay, we all missed him. Okay, so you might want to jump on Lockie Ash now. Maybe you want to sideways trade Will Day at the start. So we can do the sideways trades at the start of the year, but only between rounds 1 and 5. You can't do them after that, because after that it's upgrade season. But that's all in phase 1. Now we're at phase 2. Okay, now phase 2. It's a different ball game now, okay? Because we can sideways primos on the buys, okay? So on the buys, we can get rid of them, okay? If they're overpriced, they can go, okay? My rule is don't fall in love. With the players, okay? Don't fall in love. Now, the problem is, okay, it's not sont, it's don't, okay? Now, don't fall in love. The problem is now is the trades. We don't have enough trades, yeah? So we got a trade problem, okay? Because a lot of us are down to 12 trades left, okay? After this week, maybe down to 9, okay? But the problem is we have to get 23 primos, and then we need cash, okay? So where's the cash? Well, we have to go to now what they call cash converters. Okay, its importance. Okay, cash converters. Okay, we're going to go to cash converters and now trade in our old stock, okay, and bring in some new ones. Okay, now trade in the old toys and bring in the new toys. Just coming down. Now, what is overpriced? How do you know if your player is overpriced? Okay, now, what is this? How would you know which one to trade out? What is overpriced? Well, for me, what is overpriced is this, okay? I work on the magic number being 5, okay? Now, if a player is averaging 100, I multiply it by 5, and that means that player should be worth 500k, all right? If a player is averaging 120, I multiply it by 5, and he should become 600k, right? It's very simple maths, this one, Neil. I gave it a simple number. So if my player is priced, say, at 550k, okay, and he's averaging 100, that means that equals he's 50k overpriced. Okay, so does that make sense? So, some players are overpriced. Let me show you something. We're going to go to the ruckman, all right? And I'm going to look for players that are overpriced and underpriced, all right? Now, I'm not going to talk about the big boys here because they're holding a good price here. They're averaging 130, all right? So, I'm going to talk about players like the Conning, all right? He's averaging 110. If you've got a 110 average and you're priced at 530, going by our MN at 5, he's underpriced. Should be 550k, all right? So he's underpriced. If you go and have a look at Darcy Cameron, he's averaging 108, priced at 533, and break even at probably going to lose some cash this week because playing Gorn. So he's holding his price. If you look at Grundy, averaging 107, I mean, averaging less than Darcy Cameron, all right? Yeah, he's priced 40k more than Darcy Cameron. He's overpriced. Does that make sense? And if you go further down, Riley O'Brien, averaging 94, priced at 543k. He's a ripoff. Okay, it's an imposter. Okay, he's when you buy the handbags. Okay, the Chanel's. Well, he's the Chinese copied version. Okay, because he's an imposter. A 543k for a 94 average is unheard of, and that's what he's priced at. Okay, you can see he had Lloyd Meek, averaging 96, priced at 437k. Now he's cheap. Okay, that is really cheap. Actually, why is he so cheap? Because he had a bad score. So his price has dropped. So you can see the difference. There's 100k difference, even over, from a player averaging more. Okay, yeah, he's 100k cheaper than someone averaging less. So sometimes your players may be overpriced, or some of them might be underpriced. Okay, now I'm not saying go and grab Lloyd Meek. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying look for some of your players in your team that are overpriced. Because with my team, I don't have enough cash right now to have 23 primos, okay? We're stuffed, okay? There's no money. The accountant has left. He left the building. We don't even have an accountant anymore. We've got a bookkeeper, and he's no good. He's what they call a rookie bookkeeper on his first year. So he's only a 16-year-old kid. So he's running the books right now. The 16-year-old kid's running the books, and we got no cash. So where are we going to generate this cash from? All right, what's our assets? We got Bice, 313k. That's one asset. What else we got? We got Nevitt at 188k. Huswaite 169. Lindsay at 319k. We got Goldstein at 394k. That's about it. There's no other assets. We've got nothing. Okay, and we still got to upgrade 4 or 5 players, or 3 or 4, whatever it is. So where's the cash coming from? Well, now we're gonna go to what we call cash converters. Now I got Zorko the Magnificent here. Okay, now if I have a look at Zorko, he's priced at 548k. His break even is 144. All right, he's been doing good for us. All right, it's not like he's been bad. All right, but he hasn't been the magnificent that we're expecting. Although he has got scores of 118, 99, 166, 108. I mean, these are good scores, okay? There's nothing wrong with these scores. The problem is he worth 540? Would you pay 548K for him? Okay, here's a question. You possibly would after a 166. Opponents coming up, they're easy. They're not. They're hard, but that's good for him because he gets more opportunity to score points. So is he overpriced at 548K? Well, he's averaging 108. He's 548K. Whitfield's averaging 113. He's same price. All right, virtually, but he's averaging 5 points a game more. So he's overpriced according to Whitfield's. All right. Again, he's averaging 108. Holmes is at 104. Holmes is 520K. Let's have a look at 540. Let's have a look at an average of 108. What they should be priced at. Well, we have a look now. We got average 109, Dawson, 578K. Now that's a ripoff. That's expensive. Okay, so you're paying 578 for a Dawson, whereas when you got a DeConning averaging 110 is 528K. We got Zach Merritt, 546K, averaging 111. Now Zorko, similar price to Merritt's, all right, averaging similar, only 3 points difference. So he's not overpriced, all right. You got Tom Green, 549K, 108. So it's about the right price. Nick Dacos is unders, 535K. So the price is right, all right. But the problem is, what can you get for the same price, same average elsewhere? Now, if we trade out Zorko at 548K, all right, and bring in a high risk player, all right. So a high risk player such as, let's get over here, Tom Stewart. Difference in price is 120K, all right? And I think Tom Stewart, he's gone a 103. Tom Stewart has the ability to match him, all right? He's got a 100, 118, 103. He's got the 98. These games injured, probably another one injured here. So out of form there. So coming back from an injury. So at his best, Stewart is as good as Zorko, okay? Probably even better at his best. At the moment, probably Zorko is better than Stewart, but that's 120K, and I'm poor, okay? So I'm willing to sacrifice Zorko to get 120K and bring in a Stewart, which would then allow me to upgrade a player like Lindsay to another player, okay? Does that make any sense now? So I'm trying to generate some cash now. I'm trading Zorko to the cash converters and coming out with a Tom Stewart, the wobbly TV with the legs that are broken for the TV stand. So I'm going to bring in Tom Stewart with the wobbly old legs and give out my Zorko. So that's my first trade. Because my logic is also, I want Butters, and Butters could be 540K, cheaper than Zorko. And who would you rather have in your team, Butters or Zorko? Now, I can't afford Butters any other way unless I get rid of something. You have to give to take, okay? So I'm willing to sacrifice Zorko, get the 120K, and bring in Butters next week. And he's virtually the replacement for Zorko, although at the moment it looks like a bad deal, Zorko to Stewart. So now it comes up to my next trade, all right? I want to bring in a primo, okay? Now, I've got Bice here, who's useless now, right? He's a finish for me now, Bice. Average, his break-even is 110. So Bice goes out, all right? Now, for Bice, we're going to have to bring in a rookie, all right? So let's bring in, let's go to Essendon, and let's say we're going to bring in Angus Clark. Now, I can bring in Angus Clark, the rookie, all right? That's not a problem. However, what I am worried about is Angus Clark scoring potential, all right? Cash making potential. He's got a break even minus 73, all right? So that sounds juicy, right? Then he plays. Let's say he scores. Well, he scored a 44, right? So let's say he scores a 50 every week. He goes up I mean, by the time you get his cash, all right, because you want to get his cash by round 16 on his buy, he'll be 200K. So he would have made you 77K, all right, Angus Clark. So do we go for an Angus Clark is the question now. All right, if it's not Angus Clark, all right, he's going to make 77K, all right. What about if we go to Adelaide and pick up, where is he? Okay, cheaper Pedlar. What if we pick up Pedlar? Now, Pedlar, break even at minus 56. Now, Pedlar probably going to score more than our young boy there. Let's say Pedlar goes at 60s, all right, 65. All right, let's say 60s, okay? If he goes at 60s for 150K in round 16 when we need his cash, he's 250K. He makes a bit more. I mean, keep in mind, we've given him a 60, we're giving Clark a 45. You may argue that Clark scored 100 against Richmond, but he kicked the 3 goals, okay? Clark can also, let's say they both make 100K each, all right? Both of them made 100K for us, okay? So the same thing, okay? Now, however, Clark is cheaper, so with the extra 37K, you can spend it on some of your primos. So I'd probably not get Pedlar for that reason. But what if we went left field this week, all right? What if we did something different, all right? For starters, all right, we're going to have to bring in our boy from Essendon, the primo, all right? So he's going to come in. Right? So forget about the rookie for now, all right? We're going to bring in Caldwell. Now, Caldwell, shopping at the markets, break even on 21, all right? He's got the ability to score 100s. You can see 4 100s out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and at 40, what happened? That was a 43% time on ground or something. It wasn't much time on ground. So he's got 4 100s in his scoring cycle. Now, with the 4 100s out of 7 games, I think Caldwell is worth 440K. Okay. Now, if he goes at 105. All right, he makes some cash, but we're getting him now as a keeper, okay? We're not getting him to make some cash because we're poor. We can't afford the best of the best, so Caldwell is going to have to do, all right? So Caldwell comes in. So let's lock this trade. Now we're going to have to become creative, all right? Who's next? We've got 127K left. With 127K left, if we trade out Stone, we don't have anyone to put into defence, so we can't trade out Stone. So if we trade out Nevitz, okay, trade out Nevitz. All right, we've got 316K. What can we buy? Okay, players I can afford. What is there? Okay, 316K. We got Cumming, 300. We've got Lipinski. Forget about Reed. Let's go average. We've got O'Driscoll. Okay, we can get O'Driscoll in. Actually, O'Driscoll, if he plays, well, he's actually not even playing this week, so I can't even get O'Driscoll. Okay, forget O'Driscoll. Who else is there? You can grab. So the problem is also for me next week, I'll get around 15 buy. So if you go back here, all right, cancel. Buy rounds, round 15. On the buy, round 14 next week. Round 14. On the buy next week, it's Sydney, Collingwood, Gold Coast. Now, and Richmond. I happen to have 3 Gold Coast players. I've got Sydney players, Warner, Collingwood player, Dacos. Some of you may have Roberts from Sydney. Some of you may have Heaney from Sydney. That's about all you can have, I suppose. But so I've got, how many missing? I've got primos. 1, 2, 3. I've got 5 primos missing. So I'm going to struggle to fill the team in round 15, which is next week. So I don't want any other players from Collingwood, Sydney, or Gold Coast. All right? So the player that I'm targeting now is going to be a player that's already had the bye. All right? High risk. Okay? Massive risk. And it's going to be this player. I'm actually going to probably grab him. Waiting for team announcements, of course, and average. Okay, actually, last week's scores. No, 3-round average. He's still not coming up. Okay, I'm going to go for the Doc. Now, it's a massive gamble, all right? The Doc, in his last game, scored the 118, played a magnificent role, okay? Let's have a look at the Doc's role. Now, Sam Docherty last week, okay, this is the old Sam Docherty role. It's not guaranteed that it'll be his role this week. He's a huge sub-risk, okay? So he comes with lots of risks, Sam Docherty, okay? But the problem is I don't have many options. If I see Sam Docherty named at halfback this week, I'm locking in Sam Docherty. If I see that he's not halfback, I'm going to grab in Clark from Essendon. So it's between Sam Docherty and Clark. We are low on trades. You can't take gambles now, okay? But what happens with the Doc is this, okay? Now, there he is there. Okay, now, if the Doc can go, say at 105, project, all right? The Doc's price also goes up by 100k, going at 105s, all right? Around 16, he's 476k. Now, he can also score bigger, all right? Can score less. Now, with the Doc in previous years, what's he done, okay? What was his role when he was at his best, okay? Well, this is the old days, all right? This is Sam Docherty of old. Let's have a look over here. This is when Sam Docherty was at his best, halfback along the wings. He has that roll back. For 1 week, he's had it, okay? Previous weeks, Sam Docherty's role has been, mind you, besides being the sub, okay? Now, try to find a game where he's not a sub. His role, still halfback, but it's just a risk. So we'll look against Port Adelaide. It's still there, all right? So that's his low scores, all right? I mean, I'm looking at low scores because he's also got the higher scores of 115, same role. So the wing half-forward role, he's gonna alternate between an 85 and a 115, all right? That's going to be his scoring pattern, all right? From looking at these scores here, you can see 88, 115, 115. Mind you, it's not the old Sam Docherty. It's a new version of Sam Docherty who's been playing a similar, but it's a huge risk. Maybe I shouldn't do it. I'm thinking now, maybe I don't do this. I don't think I should do this. Well, let's cancel that Sam Docherty trade for a second there, and let's now go and have a look at another option. Trading out Goldstein. What can we afford? Well, I wish we can afford Tom DeConnie, but we can't. Now, if we trade out Goldstein, let's put Witts into the ruck, all right? Players I can afford. Now, you can gamble, all right? Actually, another player I didn't mention is Pickett. His break-even is 99. You can see he's scoring 108, 115, 140. But there's a lot of these games he kicked 5 goals because he also can go low, all right? 77, 70. With Pickett, you can probably get him at 485k, but I don't know about Pickett for now. Who can I get now at 520? I don't want to spend 521k. I want to go cheap, all right? So I'm actually thinking of Kieran Myers. This is going to sound crazy, all right? Kieran Myers is my next option. Now, with Myers, I want to show you his heat map and then his draw, all right? His last 3 games, 114, 90, 126, and his draw coming up, Gold Coast, Essendon, Brisbane, Richmond twice, actually Essendon twice, Richmond twice, Sydney, North Melbourne, St Kilda. So I can go Myers, all right? If I do that, let's have a look at Myers' heat map. Now, last year, according to all the stats, Kieran Myers had the most disposals of any player at Geelong, ranked number 1 last year. So I'll show you. Actually, he's ranked number 2. Okay, I did say 1, but it's number 2. And number 1 was Max Holmes. He had the 605 disposals. Number 2 was Myers, 505 disposals. Now, no one would have picked this, as Myers having the most disposals of any player at Geelong, well, the second most. This year, however, it's not Myers. It's, Holmes is doing better. Well, actually, last year also Stewart was doing well. All right, 495k or I'm thinking about money all the time. It's 495 disposals, but Myers was doing okay. If we go further down, Jeremy Cameron is in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top 8. Jeremy Cameron, even he has a lot of disposals, 392, which is actually a shock. I would never have picked it, but this year, all right, let's go this year. All right, this year disposals, at the top it's Bailey Smith, then it's Max Holmes, then it's Zach Guthrie, Tom Atkins, and then Myers. So Myers is coming 1, 2, 3, 4. He's coming 5th. Tom Atkins is coming 4th. Which goes to my next question. What about Tom Atkins, actually? Here's another good one to think about. But I'm actually thinking now of either a Tom Atkins, a Myers, or even a player that I had a long time ago, Jeremy Cameron, that let me down, a Jeremy Cameron type player. Let's take a look at their prices. Well, Tom Atkins is 474k. What am I going to get from Tom Atkins? All right, now let's have a look. Same thing as Jeremy Myers. I'm going to get consistency. That's all I'm going to get, all right? So I'm going to get 96, 105. A lot of consistent scoring. And as you can see, he hasn't missed a game. He's played every game. His floor is 81, all right? That's his floor. His ceiling is 108, all right? So his break-even is 108. I mean, he's only turned up 1, 2, 3, 4 times, all right? So it's not like he's going nuts. I'm just looking for a consistent performer now, okay? I'm just looking for a workhorse in the club. Tom Atkins is one of those workhorses. I mean, you can look at Joe Newcomb, and you see that Joe Newcomb, his floor is 57. I mean, let's say bad game, all right? 79, similar to an Atkins, all right? However, his ceiling is a little bit higher, but he hasn't done much more than what Atkins has done this year, all right? A player like Joe Newcomb. Or I can go for a player like Dylan Moore. He's done nothing this year, okay? His draw coming up. I mean, he's got a tough game. Tough 2 games coming up. Dogs and Adelaide, so it's not going to get any easier. Then he's got North Melbourne, St Kilda, some easier games, okay? Melbourne. But he's got a lot of tough games. So the Hawthorns draw is very difficult, all right, by looking at this. So I can't trust Dylan Moore. So the question becomes, do I just wait for one of these players, okay? The horny man, which we know we can trust, okay? Darcy, Mills. I'm probably just better off waiting and not worrying about these 300k players for now. Just concentrate on these 4, okay? So for me, leave Goldstein there, okay? Reset this. Leave Goldstein there. And we're just going to trade out a rookie, all right, this week. We're in no rush to bring in these players, and just bring in Angus Clark, okay? And let's complete this trade. So what we've done this week, all right, if we undo the trades, we've traded out 1 primo, brought in 2 half primos, okay, in Stewart and Caldwell, okay? That's what we can afford, okay? We're poor, okay? I know you when you look at this, you laugh at me. You say, why would you pick up a Stewart and a Caldwell and get rid of the magnificent one, okay? And mind you, I pay 600k for Zorko, but when you go to cash converters, they pay you less, okay? You can't help that, because their job is to make profit. So we're going to have to give out Zorko for 548k, take the loss, because we've just run out of cash. Zorko should never have been my team that early in the year. I made a big mistake. If it's not Zorko, who else can I trade out to get some cash? I need to find the cash. Who's it going to be? Well, it's not going to be Rosie. It won't be Whitfield or Sinclair. Okay, Sinclair's on fire. Okay, I can't trade out Sinclair. Impossible. One of my best players. Let's have a look. Sinclair. He's got a 130s, 140s, 120s. He's had good patches, a couple of bad patches here. Scored a 70, an 83, but he's had a lot of good patches to make up for it. It won't be Sinclair. The next best one is when you can try to play like Sherry, all right, 731k. I can't trade out Sherry. Okay, I don't have a captain option. Okay, Sherry's my only player that's a captain. He's playing West Coast, and then he plays Freo. Okay, he's gonna go nuts. Then he plays Carlton. He's gonna kill all three of them. Mind you, against Carlton the last time he played, scored a 144. Okay, now hasn't played Freo or West Coast yet, but you can see he's a captain every week. He's literally since I brought him in. All right, I brought him in for that one. When did I bring him in? Okay, I think it was the 144 game. No, 158. Yeah, that was the one. So I brought him in at 585k, 582k. That's when I got him. So I got him for the 158, 146, 186, 150, 126. You can't trade him out. It's impossible, especially with that draw. Okay, and he's gonna go nuts. So Cherry's the best player in Supercoach right now. Okay, you can't bring him in, you can't trade him out. Okay, 730k, you can't spend that money. So they're going to be my trades this week. Now, let's talk about some other things now. Okay, let's talk about what you would do if you had Gorn. Would you trade him out? Now, if I owned Gorn and he's priced at 700, see, the difference between Gorn and Sherry is this. I'll show you. Okay, let's get over, where is it? Over here. Sherry has the ability to tackle, all right? So in wet weather football, and Sherry has a lot of games also undercover, all right? So if you go to Sherry last year, and Sherry is better this year than he was last year, okay? So last year he was a beast, but you can see here Sherry last year, after the bye rounds, all right, he didn't stop. He didn't do much. He did do a lot, okay, but round 20 is spring, okay. This is the winter months around here, and he still did well. Actually, round 20 could still be winter. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's around here. You can see he's hasn't stopped. Whereas with Gorn, all right, if we go to Gorn, let's have a look. Max Gorn. Because I haven't looked at this. First time I'm going to look at this now. What did Max Gorn do last year? After the buys, or between the buys, okay? Because Max Gorn, last year, 2024, he was also priced around about 713k, all right? Then he dropped to 599k, 560k. And Max, mind you, he had some injuries, all right? But Max Gorn, had the 180, all right, 95, 130, 114, 79, 100, 97, and then here you come strong again, all right. So that's the finale, the finals. But it's not like Max Gorn was going nuts last year, okay. And a couple of these low scores, even the 114, that's not worth 730k. The 130 is, the 180 is, okay. But we've passed round 11, right? We're up to now round 13 because wet weather season starts roughly around about here. And you can see there, we haven't seen a good patch there. Let's go to 2023. Well, he's got a 215 in the system. Okay, now, what game is this? 215, did it rain? 215, round 18, 2023. Who did he play? Let's have a look. Now, round 18, 2023, he played the Brisbane Lions. And if I look at it just quickly, it's not raining, okay? It's dry, all right? But the problem is it's not always going to rain in winter, okay? So he can go big. So, and he can score a 200. So can you afford to trade out a 200, a player like Gorn, that may go something like that, okay? Well, let's go over here. Can score you a 200. I mean, you can see here, he's got a 200 there, but he's also scored a 103. I mean, you can see these scores, 103, 106, 92, 111, 84. You've got low scores here. They're not worth 730k, all right? You can see his actually price dropped to 517k that year, all right? And this is Max Gorn 2 years ago in his prime, okay? And mind you, he only averaged 2023, I only averaged 104. That's because they had Grundy in the team, that's why. Maybe this week Grundy didn't play, okay? That's a possibility, and he went nuts. So, Can you afford a Max Gorn scoring a 215? Because actually these scores are irrelevant because as I just mentioned, Grundy's in the team. So 2023 stats are no good. Let's go to 2022. And Max Gorn, again, you got the 70s, the 98, the 50, a 147. He's going to be up and down. Can you afford to miss out on a 200 if you're ranked in a top 100, okay, or top 200, or if you're in a top 500 trying to get into the top 100? Can you miss out on a 215, or can you hold? Can you bank scores of 98, 103, 106? That's only a question now that you can answer, because last year you can see again he's got a 177. This 177 could have been over here, but it's a gamble now, okay? So that's why this week it's the week that makes or breaks you. Can you do a Gorn plus, let's say, a Levi Ashcroft for a let's say for an Anderson and a McCluggage? All right, can you do this trade? Okay, I spelled McCluggage, too many Macs in there, but can you do this trade? Okay, actually McCluggage. Can you do a Gorn plus Levi to an Anderson and McCluggage? Only you can answer this. Okay, there is no right or wrong answer because either way, it's a gamble. Okay, I'm not here to tell you you can do this because even I've gambled. Okay, but you need to find cash somehow. Okay, now even I've gambled. And I've brought in Stewart, and I had to trade out Zorko the Magnificent to do this. But so I can't do it any other way. So you've got to improvise. Okay, that's the key word right now. Improvisation. Now I've got another question. Can we shop at Myers? Okay. Can we spend big? Okay. What can we buy the bonds? Okay, well, let's go to my situation now, all right? Let's say I traded out, I spent 660K on, or 640K on the bond. At 640K on the bond, all my cash is gone. Okay, everything's gone. I've got upgrades to make, and I'm still short. Now, let's say, for example, in my team, I've got to take out Gross Johnson, that's 2, all right? Actually, sorry, Bolton comes where Gross is, all right? So I got Johnson, that's 1. I got Boxhill, that's 2. And I got, let's just say Gray, that's 3. I've got to do 3 more upgrades, all right? 3 more upgrades. I've got cash at hand. I've got 212K, 3 upgrades, 212K left. Plus I've got some assets, okay? I still got, where are they? Where's my assets? I've got Lindsay at 319K. I've got Goldie at 394K, which is going to... So my targets are those 4 players, which I've just lost, okay? There they are there. They're my 4 targets. But if I was to bring in a 660K player, 640K player, my targets are no longer there, okay? So what you've got to do now, all right, your job is to identify how many primos you need, how much cash left over, okay, and then your target players. Now, if in your target players you can bring in the bond, you got enough cash, then do it. If you don't have enough cash, I would say don't do it, because I would say you need 23 primos, okay? And I've discussed that in the first option, okay, which is here. Do we have to have 23 primos? Go back to the start of the video and understand why you need 23 primos. Now, we're going to go to our leagues, okay, and now our matchups during the week. And we've had because we sort of had less players in round 12 by, we sort of got lucky and had a few wins. So we were able to have our one of our rare victories in the Scodfather Legends up against Selby, and Selby was at the top, so he'll be very upset with this one. Scodfather champs, we actually had one of our rare victories as well, where we defeated Joel's team GC Kangas, and had a win there. Luke's team, Sherry Xylophones. Okay, now they had a good score, 1860. That defeated us. Now, Scodfather Cup 2, we were up against the sweetest Ting, and Lisa is the sweetest Ting. And her partner, Yanko, who's a good friend of mine, has told me that, we noticed Lisa is struggling with cancer right now. She has cancer, and she's had her sixth therapy and successful. And there's only 6 more to go. She's a fighter, and she's going to fight this, and she's winning. So go, you good Ting. That's Lisa's team. And I wish I lost you this week. I wish you smashed me. But actually, unfortunately, I didn't want to win this one. Going further down, Scodfather Cup 3, Parties Tigers. That's Matt's team. Had a small loss. It was a close game. Dennis's team, the next big Ting, also had a bit of a loss to Abs Magic this week. We were then up against Chiefs Karma, Andrew's team. Absolutely smashed me. 100-point win there. The Spuds Stars were up against my Spuds, and my Spuds, led by the Grandpas, had a 200-point win. CPS, okay, I think it is. CP5 was, I can't read it. It's Lockie's team. They had a loss to Abs Magic. Actually, we've won quite a few games this week. Can't believe this. The Waffles, they had a loss to Abs Magic. Their Outlaws didn't even turn up, okay? Half their team turned up. I don't know what happened to the other half, but they scored the 1,081. Unfortunate for the Outlaws. They had a bad one. Hopeless, the 1502, unfortunate against Abs Magic. And that's all our matchups. Now, the Scodfather group and Gone Fishing, who we interviewed recently, is back at the top, ranked number 1. And he's still, to my surprise, I didn't know this, but he's still got the Horny Man in his team, so he's actually holding him. So he's actually done well to stay at number 1 and hold the Horny Man all this time. So it was a big gamble, but it's paid off, Mitch. So that's a good thing. Josh, the Neil deal, okay, he's ranked number 2 now. We were going to interview him last week. Unfortunately, I fell a bit sick. Then I was going to do it this week, and I was a bit busy this week with my mum. Okay, I had a lot of things to do with mum, so I couldn't do much this week. So hopefully next week we're going to interview Josh. And Remy, do a push-up. Jakey dropped a few spots. He had a decent score, 1759. Dropped a few spots. It's very close at the top. You can see only 60 points separates first and fifth. Okay, so it's very close at the top. And going next, we've got Derek's team, Swans Rule. Okay, they're ranked number 8. Okay, he's flown up the ranks, came under the guard. No one saw him coming. So Derek's team is doing well. Michael's team, the Dusty Dogs, has been there all year. Okay, ranked number 9 now. He's climbing up the ranks as well. This is like pole position now, so he's climbing up there. Scored a 1930. It's a massive score this week. Gornography, that's Ned's team, has been there pretty much all year, around about the 2015, 8th, 9th. It's always around there, okay? So he's hanging in there. Alexander, that's ZFC, ranked 22nd. Dean's team, Blackie's Breakouts, ranked 25. We've got the Mid-Price Madness, James's team, ranked 20, and they're flying, 1927 this week. We got Royal Ben Gale, Aaron's team, ranked 29th. We've got Lincoln's team, Zesh Frenzy, ranked 30th. He's flying up this week, okay? Spud Guns, Clayton's team. We're also going to interview him this week because he was ranked 5th last week, but unfortunately he had a bad week. But knowing Clayton, he's a gun player, and he'll get these Spuds up again, so he'll be back up to where he belongs. He's not far off the top, even top place, not far off. We go now to Oscar's team, and ranked 51, okay? Slim's Garrison, ranked 58. The Higginator, Matthews team, ranked 73. Super Spuds, a lot of Spuds in this top league, so we're ranked 73rd. We got Flag Dons, that's Evans' team, ranked 88th. And we only got, when I say only, 18 teams in a top 100 in our group. And B Triple T, that's Ben's team, is 94th. And Lord Meek is charging up, and so is Slippery Geckos. That's James's team. Both these teams are charging, okay? Slippery Geckos scored a 2048, so the Gecko is coming, ranked 104 now. Beware of Slippery Geckos. That's James's team. Now, we've got 1,039 teams in here, okay? And we're going to lose over 600 of them because the magic number was 1,800. And not a lot of teams scored 1,800. The bunch of Spuds, they went nuts this week. That's Ned's team. Jumped up from 27,000 to 12,000. Okay, that's unbelievable. That's a massive jump. So a huge jump for the bunch of Spuds. Okay, the Spuds are flying. But if we go down the other side of the scale, and unfortunately, there are a lot of teams that struggle to get 1,800. Okay, and I mean a lot. Okay, now I have to delete all these teams. It's going to take me, I would say, close to an hour, maybe even longer, just to delete all these teams. It's going to take forever. Okay, so I'm going to do this soon before the game starts. So I'm going to have to delete all these teams. But there is, how many is there? Okay, let's have a look. Let's go. Keep going down. We're up to 1647, and that's 140 teams. Okay, let's keep going down. 1660. We haven't even got to 1,700 yet. Already got 200 teams out. There it is there. Look, that's Andrew's team, my good friend Andrew, okay? And he had a shocker. We go further down. It was a bad week, okay? In even Spud Guns is out. The big boys are out of this one. He's gone. And so the doors opened up for a lot of teams now to win this competition. Because this week, Jared's team, Skits Fitz, is out. This week, killed a lot of teams. We're going to keep the magic number 1,800 for all the buy rounds. So every single buy round, the magic number will stay at 1,800. Okay, we're not going to change it, okay, because I don't want to lose another 600 players, because I actually don't have 600 players. Just come it down. I'm going to have 400 left. I think about 500 players left. So we lost 350, and we're still going. Okay, how many did we lose? Well, we lost a lot of the big boys, okay? 1749, they're gone. 1755, lost 420 so far. Okay, 1759, it was a tough score, 1,800, unfortunately. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. If I knew 1,800 was going to be this hard, I would have done 1,700. Still would have lost a lot. So it is what it is, okay? I mean, we've got to try to make this competition as fair as possible, and if you're a top-ranked team and you couldn't make it this week and you're going to have a huge rest of the year, well, this magic number is based on a weekly basis. You have to be consistent, okay? So, unfortunately, we're now up to 580 teams, all right, and we're still going, okay? We're still trying to find the end of this. 600 teams are gone out. All right, Perry Hots, that's James's team. 1796, we're getting very close now. 1797, 1799, okay, these teams miss over 1 point, okay, 1799, all Smileys, okay, that's Tyson's team, Superpower, it's Chris's team, Can't Kickers, well, if he learned how to kick, he would have got an extra point, the Parties Tigers, all 1799, Sealer Spuds, Matt's team, and we got Nick Dacos, Bath Water, okay, all have to go, okay, so all up, this week, we've lost 638 teams. Unbelievable. Okay, so we've only got 401 teams left now fighting out the magic number. Actually, only 400 because I'm actually out of this as well. It shows that I'm in there, but I'm not in there either. I got knocked out ages ago, so only got 400 teams exactly left in the magic number. Now, going back to my team, let's do optimize. Let's optimize this. We've got optimize. We've done our trades. How can we optimize our score? 2066. Okay, that's what we projected. It's not that high. Okay, and we've kept the Goldie. Okay, Goldilocks is still in the team. We've kept Lindsay, so we're keeping two of our prime cash cows in there, and we've sort of kept a few of the players. But captain and vice captain this week. Okay, now that's going to be an interesting one. Now we actually got everyone playing. Okay, pretty much. Let's make Bolton the captain. Okay, so Bolton's our captain this week. Our vice captain is going to be Sherry. Okay, Sherry's up against West Coast. Now, I could have vice captain Anderson, all right? I could have vice captain Anderson and captain Sherry. The problem is, or I could have even vice captained Smith, okay? Now, I could have done that. Now, the problem is, if Smith scores, say, a 130, or if Anderson scores a 130 or a 140, okay, he goes nuts, scores a 140, I would take it. Even a 125, I would have to take it, right? But what happens when Sherry is up against Flynn? Okay, what am I going to do now? Okay, I've taken a 125. I've still got Sherry to play. So I'm better off vice-captaining Sherry, all right, knowing that I can vice-captain him. Whatever he scores, I'll know. So if he scores a 125, then I'll take it. I'll even take a 120, okay? If Sherry goes to 120, I have to take it. Then if he fails, okay, the chances are very slim, but if he fails, then what's left? I have no Carlton players, okay? I have Essendon, I've got Caldwell. I'm not going to captain him. I've got Goldilocks, okay? I don't think he's going to be captain, okay? And that's it for Essendon. I've got Clark. For Melbourne, who have I got? I've got Petrarca, okay? I'm not going to captain him or Lindsay. But at Collingwood, I've got Dacos. So at Collingwood, he'll be my captain. So it'll be Sherry into Dacos for me. But the chances are very high it'll be Sherry into Bolton. Okay, that's going to be my vice-captain and captain options. That's going to be all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.